Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you very much for connecting, and if this is your first time on this channel or if you belong to this category, please don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends. In today's video, we're going to take a look at Otter. This game was provided by the publisher, and we are going to now look at how it plays, and then I'll let you know what I think about it. To set up the game of Otter, take the cardboard that you see like this. You will find it in the box. It will look like this. You separate them to make 3 rows. We're going to look at these are very nice touch from the publisher, having this cardboard here, because they will allow you to pick up the cards very nicely. If you don't have a mat, if you are playing on a wooden table or on a glass table, this will help you pick up the cards very nicely and very smoothly. Then you give to each player a rule summary. You see here there is a rule summary which has at the back the lucky stone, so each player gets one of them. If you have extra lucky stones, will be put it aside, and after that you deal 10 cards to each player. 1, 2, 3. This is the starting hand of a player here. We have 5 suits. We have frog, we have the star, and we have the scallop, and we also have the fish. The remaining tummy cards that can be put aside. After that, then you have a deck of heads over here, and the game suggests you to start with the head saying even, near, and higher or lower. You can put it like this. After that, you take a random tummy card and you place it here in the center, all right? And then you randomly put the bottom one of the otter. So for example, I can do like this, and if you want to be nice, you make everything align as you will form an otter. And now you are ready to play. So on each player's turn, you have 2 options. One is mandatory. The mandatory is to play a card or any number of cards. We'll see how it works. So to play a card, you need to look at the hand that you have, and you need to follow the rules that they tell you on the head and on the tail. So if you respect one of the 2 rules, you can place a card on that otter. For example, let me look at my hand over here. What I could do, I could play the 10 over here. The 10 is higher than the card was before, it's higher than the 5, but it's also a crab. If you meet both conditions, you can also play an additional card. So for example, now I could play the 6. I will play it here because it's an even number, and also as a star. Now I can play an additional card. Let me think about what I could play. Well, in this case, I could, for example, play the 1. I will play the 1 here, which satisfied the condition at the bottom, which is a star. Now, because I satisfied only one condition, now my turn is over, and it's the other player's turn to play. At the beginning of your turn, you have also an optional action. So the mandatory is playing to a card. Before playing a card, you have an optional action. The optional action is called High Tide, which allows you to draw cards, and based on the number of cards that you draw, you can manipulate the heads and the tails. How does it work? Well, let's say that the turn goes back to me, and now I decided I want to manipulate this. For example, I would like to have a shell, for example. I would like to have the shell, which I can see here is at the back of this tail. It tells me that at the back you have a shell. And also you can, the heads, the back is the opposite. So if I have the head here, it's even. I know that at the back I have odd. So that would be very good to me because I have 3 odd cards in the shell, which allow me to play like a nice combo. But in order to do that, I need to flip this card. In order to do any type of manipulation, which means flip or exchange the heads, I need to draw an equal number of cards, up to 3 cards. So because I'm planning to change this head and change the bottom, so 2 manipulations, my goal is to draw 2 cards. So I'm going to draw 1 card here, and I'm going to draw 1 other card here. So what I'm going to do now, I drew 2 cards, I can do 2 manipulations. So I'm going to change the bottom, and gonna change the top. So now I can play odd cards with the shell. So 1, I can play the 5, I can play the 11. So now all looks good. And so for my last card, I can play the 8. Because I satisfied only the bottom one, now my turn is over and goes to another player. As I said, this manipulation, this high tide is optional, and you can do it up to 3. So you can, and that costs you to draw 3 cards. So for example, the turns can go back to me, and I see, for example, that I have this guy, I have lots of frogs. The frogs are actually here. So what I could do, they are even, and I want to change this. So what I have to do is still 2 manipulations. I should actually do 3 manipulations. I need to flip this, invert this, and 3. So then I'm gonna invert. This is 2, and this is 3. And now I can play a frog and a frog. Again, I can play multiple consecutive cards because I satisfy top and bottom. And after that, I can play the crab. It's higher than the 10. And then I can play another crab because you see here the crab, and I have to stop there because I meet only one condition. When a player managed to shed all the cards, just now I'm randomly doing it here, right, like this, when my hands is over, then I can flip my scoring points and get a lucky stone. After that, all the players get 10 cards back to their hand. So the player that shed all their cards gets 10 cards, but also the other players get 10 cards. And if the player that has not finished their hands has some card left, it gets to choose. What I mean is, let's assume that Samantha finished the game and I'm left with 2 cards in my hand. What happened is that at the end of this round, I get 10 more cards. And then now I take a look at my 12 cards. I take a look, and something that I would do, for example, is try to hold or lots of the same color that will help me to make a combo. And I need to bring my hand back to 10. So what I see here, that I have lots of shells, I have lots of crabs and fish. So I will discard these 2. They will go on the bottom of the deck, and I start back my hand with 10. And this is done by all the players, that they didn't shed all their cards. So every player starts the new round with 10 cards in their hands, and then we play in the same way. These stay in the way they are. They can still be manipulated in the next round. The game ends when, depending on the number of players, other player gets enough lucky stones. So in a 3 to 4 player, if you get 2 lucky stones, you are the winner. So if you flip a lucky stone and you are supposed to get a second one, you win the game. In a 2-player game, if you have 2 lucky stones and you need to get a third one, you win the game. And in a 1-player game, if you already have 3 lucky stones and play off your cards a fourth time, you win the game. And this is how you play Otter. In the rule book, you have a strategy. There are some optional rules that gives you penalty, and you have an explanation of what the symbols you find here on the head of the Otter mean. And now let's go back to and see what I think about it. Otter is a card shedding game. This is the type of genre that this card game belongs to. The aim of the players is to get rid of them cards in their hands as quickly as possible. And depending on the number of players, you need to do it a certain number of times and you will win. The twist here is that you have a puzzle with the heads and the tails of the otter. So how to manipulate them in order to allow you to play multiple cards in the same round. If you meet both conditions, you're allowed to play the cards multiple times rather than one at a time. And that is a very interesting puzzle that you have. I really like try to think about how to manipulate, especially when the game starts, how to manipulate the heads and how to switch them or flip them, and also the chance or the cost that you need to pay by drawing more cards. Is it worth it, drawing more cards to do all your manipulations? Sometimes the card that you get that really not fulfill anyone, so you need to be very careful, but sometimes you actually draw cards that you also can play, and that is very satisfying. It's not a complex game. It's very, very approachable. The look is very, very cute. I really like the look of this game. I really, really like the components. The cards are very good quality. It's very nice shuffle you can have. And I really like the touch that the designer had in introducing those thick cardboards to help you manipulate the heads and the tails. This is really something that I really, really appreciate. I usually play on a play mat or on a sort of a tablecloth, so picking up cards is not difficult. But when we open this box, we actually play when we're playing on a wooden table, and oh boy, if it's annoying to pick up a card from there. And you need to pick up those tails and heads very, very often. And that little touch made the game experience so pleasant, really so pleasant. It's a very nice touch. I really appreciate. At the beginning, actually, I didn't really quite get why they were there. I contacted the designer and they told me what were they for, and I really appreciate this touch. Oh boy, this is a good game. I really, really enjoy. This is the type of game that I enjoy to play with my family. I want to relax and, just play without thinking too much and, be amused by how many cards you can shed or how quickly you can do. And then that puzzle really trying to, okay, I can do this, I can do that. Oh, I hope it's not going to change the head. Oh, she did it. Oh, damn. Now I need to replan ahead. So there is also a little bit of a tactics, or sometimes it's like, please put the frog in, put the frog, and then the opponent put the frog, and then you blah, 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 blah. Not really nice feeling. He plays in these people keep lying on your box. They put you 30 minutes. Really, this is like maybe for players it gets to 30. Okay, I'll be honest. Maybe for players it gets to 30 because you play multiple times. But I'm telling you, 2 players, this in 10 minutes is done. It's that quick. And yeah, and it really, yes, there is luck, but the idea that you can manipulate the heads and the tails really balance that and make you feel like that you can overcome maybe a bad draw or something like that. So it makes you feel clever when you remove all the cards. This is really, really big winner. I think this is a game that many families can enjoy. And so if you're watching this video, please don't forget to tune on their accounts and their website and take a closer look. This is a game that I can see doing very well in the big box stores, and really, I really enjoyed it. I already reviewed on this channel another game from the same company. Please go and check them out as well. That also an excellent game, but I'm telling you, I like this one even more, as it really sings for me. And so that's for it for me. So if you made it that far, please don't forget to subscribe, like the video, share with your friends. You know the drill. This is not your first YouTube video, am I right? Otter, Otter, Otter.